All we are going online.
Namaste, Vanakkam, Swagatam, and welcoming you all to day 7. That's the first day of Goddess Saraswati, and we are invoking her energy. So we'll start with our wonderful theme and invoke the energy so that we can have a wonderful program ahead.
Priya Shaktiyum Nicha Shaktiyum Jnana Shaktiyum Priya Shaktiyum Nicha Shaktiyum Jnana Shaktiyum
So welcoming you all again, and we have had our lovely theme. So now today part of our program we have the stories of Saraswathi Devi by our beloved Reena Miss, and there's no other better person that I can choose for this topic, as she was even part of the drama and she had her main roles in Saraswati's part. So we are going to welcome her and just to have a few sentences about her. Reena Miss is a student of Dr. Sir Ammaji and Yoganjali Natyalayam, and she is the wife of Dayanidy, mother of 2 cutie pie children, Deganand and Hasini. At present, she is working at the Indian Bank. So we will be welcoming her, and she will be expressing her thoughts on Goddess Saraswati, and she will enlighten us and keep us going for the next 2 days.
Vanakkam Di. Thank you. Thank you for that sweet introduction. So, I'm very pleased to talk about Saraswati. It is indeed a blessing. So, I think I'll just go on with that flow, the energy that I have. Om Vinaganaya Vidmahe Vrincha Patni Cha Dhimahi Tanno Saraswati Prachodayate Om. Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, the Vak Devi, the goddess of speech. She is often depicted as a beautiful lady, elegantly attired in pure white outfit. Her color white signifies purity, true knowledge, and divine wisdom. She is seated on a white lotus. Her 4 hands are adorned with a book of Vedas, symbolizing universal and true knowledge. The crystal mala, symbolizing the power of meditation, introspection, and spirituality. A pot of water, symbolizing creativity and the power of purification. The veena, signifying perfection in the science of all art and music. All these symbolizes the 4 facets of our human personality: wisdom, intellect, awareness, and ego. The peacock is placed on the right side of Saraswati and the swan on the left side, resembling equilibrium between reason and emotions. The Hamsa, the swan, the vehicle of Saraswati, has a unique capability to drink only milk, leaving aside water, signifying the incredible power of discrimination between real and unreal, the right and the wrong. There are many legendary stories surrounding Devi Saraswati in our Hindu scriptures. Let us begin with the creation of Saraswati. Brahma, one of the three gods of the Trimurti, created the universe. Imagine baking a cake only to realize it looks boring and plain. This is how Brahma felt when he created matter and found it lacking in form. To find a solution to this problem, Brahma started chanting the Vedas. While chanting the Vedas, Saraswati was born from the mouth of Brahma as the incarnation of knowledge. She helped Brahma to add order to the world. She frosted and decorated the cake, which ultimately led to the creation of the moon, stars, and even the sun. At first, the beauty and sharp intelligence of Saraswati made Brahma to fall into an incestuous infatuation on her. Saraswati was worried. At first, she was very desperate to avert his lustful gaze on her. She was moving in the opposite directions from Brahma's side. But all her efforts were in vain, as Brahma created three more heads with his vision on all four sides at the same time. Saraswati, still with patience, disguised herself as different animals. But Brahma didn't leave her. He chased her, disguising himself as the male counterpart of those animals. Finding no other way to escape his lustful glance, Saraswati soared high up into the heaven. And there too, Brahma created his fifth head, elongated long enough that it could pierce to heaven and chase Saraswati. Brahma was thus so ascertained that Saraswati would never be able to escape his gaze. Enraged with anger, Goddess Saraswati cursed her own creator that unlike Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, Brahma would not be revered and worshipped so widely. This is the reason why we have only two temples for Brahma in our country. One is in Pushkar in Rajasthan and the another at Kumbakonam in Tamil Nadu. Coming back to the story. On the other hand, Lord Brahma, lost in fire of lust, forgets his duties to bring order and discipline in the universe. Once again, chaos started engulfing the universe. It was then Lord Shiva manifested as the incarnation of Bhairava, the Lord of Destruction, decapitated his fifth head, the Ahamkara, and at that instance, Brahma realized his fault and he repented too. For the purgation of his sinful nature, it was necessary for Brahma to perform a yajna, a holy sacrifice witnessing Agni. But a yajna would never be complete without a wife. It was then the most humble goddess Saraswati, submitting herself to the greater cause to protect the universe. She married Brahma. After the yajna, goddess Saraswati took her veena and resonated the air with a soothing music and put an end to all the commotion that was created by Brahma's fault. A legend depicts how goddess Saraswati retrieved Somarasas, the elixir of life, from the grip of Gandharvas, the demigods who sprang from the fragrance of flowers. Somarasa was a sacred potion derived from the Soma plant, and it was kept under the custody of the Devas. A Gandharva named Vishvasu was entrusted the charge of guarding the urn of Somarasas. His curiosity and greed for the Somarasa tempted him, and thus he whisked away the urn and kept it in a secret place. Now the Gandharvas were on cloud 9. They had the possession of the Somarasas. When gods discovered the fact, there was great disorder and confusion in heaven. Though the gods were infuriated by the news, the friendship that Gandharvas and the Devas shared restrained them from going to a war. It was then goddess Saraswati came for the help of the Devas. Goddess Saraswati assured the Devas that she will retrieve the Somarasa without the feud against the Gandharvas. Goddess Saraswati, equipped with her beautiful veena, reached the garden occupied by the Gandharvas. She started playing the veena and creating the enchanting tunes of ragas and ragins in the air. The air was engulfed with a melodious rendition of music. Captivated by the enchanting music, the Gandharvas were drawn into the garden. They entreated goddess Saraswati to teach them the divine music. Goddess Saraswati agreed with one condition, that they return the Soma Rasas. Gandharvas were so captivated by the beauty of the goddess and her melodious music that they agreed for the proposal. Thus, Saraswati recovered the elixir of life from the Gandharvas' custody. And this is the reason why Gandharvas became expertised in music and art to an extent that they could even perform in the court of heavens in the presence of gods and goddesses. Do you all know that goddess Saraswati played an important role in making Kumbhakarna sleep? Kumbhakarna, though being a Rakshasa, was considered so pious, intelligent, and unchallenged warrior in battle. Indra, the king of gods, was worried and jealous of him and his strength. Along with his Brahma brothers, Ravana and Vibhisana, Kumbhakarna performed a major yajna to please Lord Brahma. Feeling insecure, Lord Indra pleaded goddess Saraswati to save the Devas. When the time came for asking a boon from Brahma, Kumbhakarna's tongue was tied by goddess Saraswati, because of which, instead of asking for Indrasana, the seat of Indra, he asked for Nidrasana, the bed for sleeping. It is also said that he intended to ask for Nirdevatvam, the annihilation of the Devas, and instead asked for Nitravatvam, sleep. His request was granted and the Devas were saved. While talking about goddess Saraswati, it is very clear that she is the knowledge of discrimination between the right and the wrong. In other words, the dispeller of darkness, the Guru. It would be incomplete if I don't talk about our living Saraswati, our Shakti, Ammaji, Meenakshi Devi Bhavanani. She has lifted many of us from darkness into the light of knowledge. I would like to share with you all on this very special day my first learning from Ammaji in 2003 during my first camp. We were back to the ashram from the beach class. Ammaji was asking all of us what we have seen on the beach. We had different answers: the ocean, waves, boat, birds, etc. I told Ammaji there was a lot of dry fish being dried up on the shore, and the crows were excitedly picking up the fishes, flying up, securing a safe place, taking one or two pecks, throwing it down, and flying back again to pick up the next one. Ammaji asked us what you learned from that. At that age, I didn't have any answer to tell. Ammaji continued saying, you would have noticed thousands of fishes being dried, whereas the crows would have been not even 100. If one crow picked up one or two fishes, completed eating it, its hunger would have been served. But the greed in the animal brain does not allow the crow to experience the joy of contentment. The greed to have more and more not only makes the crow to waste food, but also keeps it agitated and unhappy with what it has. What a beautiful lesson that changed my perspective of life. Thank you, Ammaji, for that great lesson. Doctors are used to tell us being born in human form itself is a great blessing. It is indeed a great overflown blessing to each YOGNAT student to live and learn from our great gurus, Ammaji and Dr. Sir. Thank you.
So that was
Thank
really
you,
nice.
Dee.
It was really nice, Reena Miss. Like, you know, how the last part, I must especially thank you because including Ammaji, which is really true, isn't she? Like, as we say, she's a living
Like when you told me that I had to talk about Saraswati, to me, I always felt Saraswati is Ammaji because, the brain needs to understand what human form is. I think many of us are living in human form, but to get that understanding, the Guru plays the most important role, and we are lucky. We are very much blessed that we have Ammaji and Dr. Sir, like this at this age, to have grown and to have learned all these. I think it is a very great blessing in my life, a blessing for my entire lifetime.
That was really nice, Reena Miss, and I must thank you because you covered, because Saraswati, like usually we don't know many stories actually. Like comparing to Durga and Lakshmi, most probably for Saraswati it would be quite hard to give a long enough 15 to 20 minute of stories, rather than storytelling, expressing the stories in your own perspective and in your own way of communication. But you have really kept us occupied and you have kept us concentrated. That's the most important thing, that it can reach out to people. So thank you very
Dee.
much,
Thank
Reena
you.
Miss, and thank you for starting off this evening. It was a good kickstart for all of us and a boost up for the upcoming event.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you for that wonderful opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now next, after this lovely communication with Reena Miss, now we have the devotional chanting done by our dear family in Italy, the Gitananda Ashram, Matha Gitananda Ashram, and they've done some lovely chanting for us for Goddess Saraswati. So join us.
Shri Durga Namaste, Jai Shri Durga Namaste. Come on today, hey, come on today. Shri Durga Namaste, Jai Shri Durga Namaste. Namaste, hey, Namaste, Namaste, hey, Namaste. Jai Shri Lakshmi Namaste, Jai Shri Lakshmi Namaste. Namaste, hey, Namaste. Jai
So we had a delight, wasn't it? It was really such a delight and such lovely how, Ma Uma Shakti was reciting the swaras, that's really so inspiring at such a age and with such a Shakti. I can see Uma Shakti. So it was really nice, and the whole Gitananda family, they've supported us, and all for the 3 days they've sent lovely chanting for us. So we are really happy, and here I take the opportunity to thank them for all the effort, and they made, they showed us lovely statues and idols. Most probably they were there in the ashram, and they all sat together. That's not easy. So I really thank them for making this Navaratri Kala Yajna a better one, and maybe the best one also, with their support and with their blessings for us. So now, before we conclude, we have another delight coming up. We have Natyam by Svamini Atmananda, and I hope you all are ready to witness this with me.
The goddess who possesses the power of speech, wisdom, learning, music, and all arts. Presenting to you a tribute to goddess in Raga Kalyani and set to Aditala. Kalyani Giri Veena Vani Sangeeta Nryadi Kala Yajna Kalyani Giri Veena Vani Sangeeta Nryadi Kala Yajna Kalyani Giri Veena
So that was a nice thing where she expressed the Navarasa, and we all should understand that with Goddess Saraswati, it's all the culture, it's all the divine art forms. So we'll be seeing that in our broadcast also. So we are seeing it from the first day, which is really nice. And we have really invoked Saraswati Devi, and day after tomorrow is the Saraswati Puja. So wishing you all best luck and clean up your houses and everything. So from my understanding, in the starting, we played the theme, but due to some technical faults, we weren't able to get it on screen. So, we shouldn't miss it. So we will be playing it now. So please witness it with us.
Om Kriya Shaktiyum Micha Shaktiyum Jnana Shaktiyum Kriya Shaktiyum Micha Shaktiyum Jnana Shaktiyum Lakshmi Saraswati Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Om Shakti 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 Om.
So we have had the theme, and I'm sure that Goddess Saraswati will excuse us because we have still kept going, and we have that for sure. So thanking you all for your presence today, and that's what keeps us going. And your encouragement, your support, your blessings, and your love really mean a lot. So thank you to everyone, and join us for the upcoming days also. Tomorrow we have our next day schedule, and then the next day we had our broadcast. And then finally, we have a special Vijay Dasmi. So please join with us in all these events, and let's keep doing what we have to do, and what must happen will happen. So thank you, and see you all tomorrow.